Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the IEM closed qualifier for the Oceania region. I'm John Allen, and joining me, Alex Snods Byfields on this sunny day.
Gone for the full name. Most people just call me Snods, yes.
Yeah, well, I've got John Allen. So
well, that's a good point. Your whole name is your actual alias. So
yeah.
I guess at that point, you just want to tag me in as well to that. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How about yourself? All's well?
Yeah, pretty happy to be here. We'll be excited to cover some of these games today. Of course, we've got two best of threes coming up today. It's going to be Chiefs versus Grayhound, which is the upper bracket final, and then we've got the lower bracket final later on, which is a to-be-decided matchup.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know which teams as of yet. They have to play that out as this game is going live. Obviously, the Chiefs versus Grayhound one.
Yeah.
They'll find out later on which our final match will be. We are not covering the finals of the closed qualifier today. I believe there's someone else covering that tomorrow, the day afterwards.
Yeah.
So for now, we will not conclude to see who does go to IEM Shanghai today. We'll just continue the storyline.
Yeah, so two games. They are going to be, winners do get shipped off to China in a good way.
Yes, of course.
Which is very exciting, actually. I would love to go to Shanghai. Have you ever been to Shanghai?
I mean, no. Did South Korea for the minors. That's really the closest I've got to that region, South Pacific. But apart from that, yeah, no, it sounds like a great experience. Obviously, great experience as well for the team that not only qualifies, but you know, for some of these teams as well, right? Taboo, Legacy, for example. I was actually casting the Open Qualifier Finals over in sunny old Leicester at 9 o'clock in the morning. Wasn't the, or 6 o'clock in the morning. It was ridiculous. Yeah. But for teams like Taboo, teams like Legacy that want to, you know, consolidate themselves within the upper echelons of the Aussie scene, especially Legacy Esports after qualifying for Sydney, they want to be in the staple of the Greyhounds, the Tainted Minds, the Chiefs, for example. So for some of these teams, even qualifying just for the closed qualifier is a great experience for them, especially Taboo as well. Many names in that roster that we've never heard of before. Well, I myself from the outside looking in and never heard of before, and now I do. So it's about the exposure, about the experience, but now versus some of the big dogs here. These guys are invited to the closed qualifier. These are the guys that we're expected to see in the winners final, in the position to try to take the whole closed qualifier itself. Yeah, so we do have 6 teams, and they are all still actually in the running today. Yes. So anyone can win, but we do have our predictions. For instance, for this Greyhound Chiefs game, I think it's going to be quite close, actually. I mean, these two guys, top of the scene, both sort of very, very closely vying for that top spot. The run between Greyhound and Chiefs, Greyhounds have had the advantage historically, and they have beaten them out on most of the times that they have met. Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like there is this, scene right now, this playing field in Australia where there are clear top 4 teams. You've got Tainted Minds, Order, Chiefs, Greyhound, and depending on form, depending on the day, any of these 4 teams can beat each other, right? Yeah. Question is, which team has the best form as of right now? Within the Aussie scene, it is probably widely considered to be Greyhound. Yeah. Obviously, the upset performance with the best of 3 victory over SK, taking phase the whole 9 yards, the 3 maps at Sydney. Yeah. Yes, they bombed out of Dallas, but they still qualified for Dallas through the Pro League. And for Greyhound, in terms of form, they're definitely the ones performing the best right now. The question is, though, was that run of form coming to an end with how they bombed out in Dallas? Is it going to be a new team taking over? Is it going to be Chiefs, Order, Tainted Minds? And right now, it's all up for grabs. Yeah. So we do have the map vetoes in, so we'll take a look at those right now. It'll be interesting to see what these teams have picked. It is a little bit of a conflict. We do have a couple of conflicting points on their map pools, so we'll see if they've managed to avoid those, or if they've stumbled into them. If we get the vetoes up. Yeah, this is the issue right here, straight away from Chiefs. Yeah. They have to permaban Dust 2, understandable. Yeah. The problem for Chiefs is one of the 2 best maps, Train and Mirage, is the perma veto for Greyhound. This means that coming into the map veto, they have a massive leg up. You remove instantly one of the best teams for opposition. You've always permaban Train anyway, so it makes no issue for you. What does Chiefs pick now? Do they pick Mirage, a map that Greyhound are also good on? Do they go for a Nuke pick? That could be fairly effective. Yeah. Obviously, we know that Tux likes to call that methodical, slow, steady style of calling. That could be very good on the T-side of Nuke, which is obviously current meta right now. You do your smokes towards outside, and you work off that every single round, so it could be good for them. Yeah. Coming in for the pick from Greyhound, obviously, Overpass could be a strong pick here. What else would I expect to see? Yeah, Mirage, Overpass, Cash, Inferno. Any of these 4 maps would be viable to see. Maybe not Inferno. I think Chiefs are good on that map as well. So, we are waiting to see what the next veto is going to be. With Chiefs losing out versus Tainted Minds 16-12 on Overpass as well, wouldn't be surprised to see an Overpass pick here from Greyhound. I think it was 16-5 on Overpass between Chiefs and Greyhound. Even better. In that case, pick Overpass. Yeah, I think they really put the hit on at the DreamHack Masters in Stockholm. I think it was a couple of
days ago that was? I'm not entirely. I have to
Oh,
double
the
check on the date.
qualifier, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for the qualifier for Stockholm. They went 16-5 and 16-12 on Mirage.
Oh, that was versus each other as well.
Versus each other. So that was the most recent matchup. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of the match yesterday. Obviously, Chiefs versus Tainted Minds.
Yeah.
Losing 16-12. So not only have they lost on Overpass yesterday, 16-12.
Yeah.
Also lost.
They lost to Grayhound.
Historically, in this matchup,
right.
prior 16-5.
Yeah, so I would not be surprised. I mean, we've got the two bans up, and we've got Overpass. We've got Overpass still open for Greyhounds. Obviously, it is Chiefs' turn to pick, but yeah. I'm looking at Overpass for Greyhounds. There you go. You called it. Nuke.
So, Nuke going to be picked up, Overpass as well. Obviously,
there you go.
These are pretty expected. The question coming in now is, what's banned next? We've still got Mirage, the outlier here, still got Inferno. Which team's going to be picking or banning out those two maps? And trying to think what else is left over. Cash as well, a good map for both teams. I feel like Cash does lean more towards Greyhound, so Greyhound can be happy if it is Cash last pick. Inferno, let me take a look at what I've got written down. Inferno would be much better for Greyhound.
Oh,
so,
it's just been gone.
Yeah,
and actually, I was going to say the Mirage ban is quite an interesting one because it's the only map. So Greyhound and Chiefs have played 6 maps in the last month.
Yep.
Only one of those maps have Greyhounds lost. And it was, in fact, on Mirage, 16-14, very close. So just getting rid of Mirage makes sense. And then Cash left over, which is actually really interesting because both teams in the last 3 months have played it 12 times. They both have a 58.3% win rate.
You are the numbers, aren't you?
Well, I've got numbers written down. I might as well use them.
Yeah. What was that? On Cash, both have the exact same win rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though on paper that Cash map may look fairly even, obviously the win rates being the exact same, you look back at Dallas, actually casting it from Katowice in this chair right here, casting the B stream for Dallas. We casted, me and Jack casted Liquid versus Greyhounds on Cash, 16-7, 16-5, ridiculous matchup. We casted Greyhound as well versus Renegades, and Cash was one of the maps they lost to versus Renegades. Right. So even though the win rate is the exact same, you know, the difference in experience, difference of caliber of opposition that Greyhound have had on Cash is completely different. So not only do they have better demos to go back and watch, they played versus better teams that are going to punish their issues and are going to punish their mistakes. So I think coming into this one, I wouldn't be surprised with a 2-1 victory for Greyhound. Not only do they win in terms of the veto, hands down with Cash being the last map pick, Overpass being one of the best maps, their permaban being their opposition's best map. Yeah, I think it all just falls in favour here for Greyhound. Yeah, I mean,
even looking at the stats purely on Overpass, I mean, I've got numbers, as I say. 85.7% over the last 3 months is the win rate on Overpass for Greyhounds, and only 44% are for the Chiefs, which is probably one of the largest disparities in win rates I think we have across all the matchups today.
This is the big issue right now for Chiefs. Obviously, coming to IEM Sydney, they qualified as they made the roster addition with APOC, and Cobblestone, their best map, gets removed and Dust 2 is plugged in. And this is why we see them forced to play maps like Overpass. They have a 40% win rate on it. They have to play, as you said, in the DreamHack qualifiers. They had to play it now versus Tainted Minds. They have to play it again versus Greyhound here. This is a map where that would be a Cobblestone. If it wasn't a Cobblestone, the teams would be banning Cobblestone. They would get their Mirage. They would get their Inferno. Having the reduction of Cobblestone, bringing in Dust 2, which is now their perma veto, has drastically reduced their prowess in the veto.
Well, they've got to try and find their feet here today because, of course, whoever does win this goes on to the grand final of the closed qualifiers up for the spot in Shanghai.
Is there an advantage? Do they get a map up advantage? I'm not sure if there is.
I'm not entirely sure. I think, well, it's normally in Double Elim you do get one. I think it's a best of 5 grand final.
Then,
yeah, best of 5. So I imagine it's a map advantage.
Sometimes with best of 5 vetoes, it would go ban, pick. Oh God, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
Well, I'll tell you what.
The team with the advantage would get 3 bans.
It's probably written down somewhere, so I'm sure you guys can go and find it. You probably know better than us at this point.
Yeah, well, obviously, good in predictions. I myself would say, as a bare minimum, 2-1. Could even be a 2-0. I think if Nuke does go the way of Greyhound, we see a 2-0. I don't see a world in which Chiefs can win Overpass. No. Historically, as of late, and especially with how good Greyhounds are on this map, and with Cash being a decider. I mean, even yesterday versus Tainted Minds, had a 16-14 victory on Cash. Yeah. So it wasn't as if they won, you know, with something to give us confidence about them going forward. It was a win that was just, you know, slipped.
It wasn't a single digits win.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's something I would look for as an indication. But again, 16-14 and again 16-14 on Mirage before doesn't fill me with confidence as the only map that Chiefs have won in the past month. Versus Greyhounds.
One of the things I really want to touch on before we do go live with this is the importance of this tournament for Chiefs.
Yeah.
When you look at this roster, APOC, Dizzy, Tux, Flix, Texa, 2 of these players are VAC banned. Tux, they're IGL. Texa, 16 years old, brought in for firepower. They're both VAC banned. And which big tournament's coming up very shortly, John?
Well, yeah, they're going to be interesting to see if they're going to be able to do that one well.
Exactly, which means they cannot play the minors. They can't play the minors, which is a great experience for these teams.
Yeah.
They cannot play the major qualifier, the major, even if they qualified for it. And this means, you know, these tournaments like IEM Shanghai, the DreamHacks, etc., are vital for this team because they cannot gain experience at the minor. Versus your Tyloo's, versus your Flash Gaming, for example. They have to get their international experience versus their opposition in the Shanghais, in the DreamHacks, at the IEMs. So this is a must-win for them. Otherwise, what are they going to play for the next coming months?
I mean, there's a couple of other games.
Well,
not as good as CS:GO.
What they got to aim
right? Yeah. No. Well, exactly.
Yeah.
They've got no sort of standing motivation other than scrimming, just practicing, which you're doing it for months on end, and you end up sort of doing the same things over and over again. You don't have a goal. You don't have something to push for, and you end up losing motivation. So yeah, I think that's really shrewd analysis actually, because you've really hit the nail on the head that if they don't take this one here, they're going to be out of a job really.
I don't know if it's that extreme, mate.
Well, no, not a job, but you know what I mean. Like, they're going to be out
reality here.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of jobs, Sponge in an interview at the end of last year, he said the Australian Counter-Strike, it's early in the morning, isn't it? Australian Counter-Strike scene needs 2 things. They need experience and they need money.
Right.
Only Renegades right now have that backing to relocate to America, to go full-time, to make it their full-time job, as we said.
Yeah.
You know, you are having teams and organizations come in now, such as Order, that have big investments from sports teams or sports investment groups that can fund boot camps, that can fund gaming houses and full-time jobs.
Yeah.
And one of the things the Australian Counter-Strike scene is, it is starting to move in the right direction now. Investments coming in, they are starting to gain that monetary advantage now to have the boot camps, etc. Experience, as one of the other 2 things Sponge mentioned, is now improving as well. Pro League spot now grants a spot at your Pro League finals, as we saw in Dallas, and we're going to see in the next Pro League as well from the Australian ESL Pro League. Plus, as well, the IEM slots, such as IEM Sydney, which had 3 Australian teams. Dallas, which had, I want to say 2 teams, but I could be wrong. I believe it was 1.
Right.
And now as well for Shanghai, there are far more opportunity now to gain experience for the Australian teams. Money as well coming in. So I think in 2019, next year is going to be a very strong year for Australian Counter-Strike. I think it is going to take 1 to 2 years to develop and evolve this talent with the fundamentals they have now that are growing. So the future is bright for Australian Counter-Strike.
Yeah, they're starting to step up to the plate, certainly. And it's kind of interesting. I think in general, a lot of regional Counter-Strike scenes have been a little bit iffy. I mean, in the UK as well, like for a couple of years, we've been a bit wobbly. But things are starting to pick up in general. I think across the board, and I think lower down the chain, because obviously you've always had the top level. You've always had Cloud9 and FaZe. Well, not FaZe a little bit more recently, but you've always had these big names at the top, and they've been sort of sat there in North America and in Europe as a whole. But now you're starting to get a little bit more granular with it, and I think that's sort of something that you were describing as well with the Australian scene, and that being boosted up.
I'm still waiting for the point of you.
Yeah, yes. I shied away from it because I realised probably not.
Yeah. I get you there. Well, I believe the match is ready, so we can stop waffling and wasting all of our time.
Oh, well, there we go.
And that's what we've been waiting for. The game will be going live in just a few seconds. Going to solve one more issue as we were waiting for that one to be ready before we could begin the matchup. But yeah, predictions 2-1. Expecting a swift victory here for the likes of Grayhound.
Yeah.
Going forward as well, this is the lower bracket tournament, which means, or double elim tournament, so there will be a lower bracket if in case Chiefs do lose. Yeah,
exactly. If you lose here, it is not the end of the world. You still have a chance to get to the final, still have a chance to get to Shanghai as well. I'm gonna go bold. I'm gonna predict a 2-0 to Greyhound. I think they're gonna take Nuke. I think they're gonna take Nuke. As you say, there's no world in which Chiefs win overpass. Not in my mind, certainly. And I think that it's just gonna be I think they're just going to have a little bit of oomph going in here to Nuke as well.
Well, a good point to mention as well, Nuke was picked by Chiefs, which means that Greyhound get to pick which side they want to start on.
Yeah.
They get to start on their CT side Nuke. Notoriously a strong defensive side map. Maybe that's a catalyst for a 2-0 just to get that first map victory. Having the CT side start, maybe you win pistol, you win the first buy round, 10-5 half. Good game. Next map overpass, and it's a 2-0.
Well, we'll have to wait and see as we are hopefully getting underway relatively soon. I think the players are just setting up and getting ready. So we talked a little bit. You just talked a little bit about Nuke CT side. Obviously, they're going to be choosing that. Is there something that you want to see? Is there, as you're saying, the developing meta? You drop the smokes outside on Nuke.
Yep.
You try and push around and work around that information. Is there anything special that you think they're going to be bringing out, or is it just going to be by the book for Chiefs?
I think for Chiefs it is going to be, you smoke out, you do the wall of smokes towards outside on Nuke, you go towards secret, or you fake it, you flash through the smokes, you take outside control, you go for your A main splits, for example. Obviously the new iteration of Nuke, no more rafters outside, which means going for splits via heaven is a lot more difficult. The CTs have that advantage now. There has been a change for vents, which allow for lower steps to be a lot more important to be controlled by the Ts. Obviously before that, what happened was, go down towards the B-bomb site. The CTs had the vents rotation, which would be instantly in towards the B site. It made it so difficult for the T side. There wasn't a way that they could take an advantage of it. Before, there were 3 ways you could take outside on Nuke. You would split A main, you would go for the outside smokes and go down towards secret stairs and B, or you could go outside, in towards yard, and wrap heaven, wrap behind, and that's your 3 ways of doing it. Then they removed the outside rafters, so then there was only 2. And then with the vents as well, it's a bit too skewed in favor of the CT side. Yeah,
it's pretty heavy. So we'll have to, well, as you say, Chiefs have their work cut out for them, starting on that T side. I do think that Greyhounds are just going to have the momentum here. I think that Chiefs, you know, they're putting their best foot forwards, but I don't think they're going to be able to take it home. But here we go, into the game. It is still on the warm up. Greyhound versus Chiefs here on Nuke, and it is. Of course, Greyhound on the CT side, Chiefs on the T side.
Yes, as we said before, obviously Greyhounds do get to choose which side they want to start on, and that will be the CT side. They have won the pistol, great start for themselves going forward. Obviously, we didn't get to see the pistol, so we don't know how that one went down, if it was close, if it wasn't close. But they have now got themselves into round number 3. The fact that Chiefs can buy means the bomb was planted in that pistol round, so there is a bit of illustration we can make to that round, and already we are kicking things off nice and fast. Flex with the first frag as we move in towards the first buy round.
Who needs smokes? They're just going straight outside, barreling it straight through. They are going to get shut down a little bit, though, as they get taken down. A FAMAS shot, traded back, and a double headshot through the head. He goes from the scout. Gratis is absolutely popping off here already. In round number 3, Greyhound have done all the damage they need to. Tux flicks. The last 2 left alive for Chiefs. They've dropped the bomb outside with a beautiful headshot. He's able to take down Dick Stacy. Not going to be doing any detective work from now on in this round. Still holding that heaven position. Drops down, actually. A little bit wary of getting wrapped on from ramps, but the bomb does get picked up on the corner. They've let it go. Flicks managing to take a forwards position now, but they're getting flanked from the behind. He takes it down, takes care of that one. Malta is going to go down a Tux, sorry. Into the heavens, will just get the shot on the head. A lovely double headshot, though, from the scout.
Yeah, seemed like fate at that point, didn't it? To get that round in their favor. Gratisfaction lands the double headshot through a main, somehow, some way through the smoke. Pure luck, it seemed, to get that 3 versus 5. But Chiefs, great readjustment. Flicks especially, considered one of the most underrated players in the Aussie scene. 27 years of age, has that level-headed, calm, age and pedigree to himself. He is calm in those 2 versus 3 situations, and it definitely showed in that round prior, being able to bring that round back in favor of Chiefs. Get the first round for them on the board. 1
kill going over. They've traded 1 for 2 at the moment. Has managed to drop down to ramps. Gratisfaction is going to drop back towards Hell as they rotate around. They still have 3 players left alive. They've actually managed to pick up an SMG as well on Dexter. So they're going to be remounting their defense. The ramps position has been fully taken, but you can see the bomb hasn't been committed just yet. It's still over towards A. It's still over towards that control room. They've yet to pull the trigger on this B push.
SMG in the hands of Dexter, as you just mentioned. Obviously a low chance we see Greyhound able to transition this 3 versus 4 with no Kevlar, apart from Urcast, into a round victory. But they can try, diminish the T-side economy. They can try get frags onto that SMG and gain $600 per frag. Obviously, $600 a kill, that's enough for a Molotov, that's enough for smoke flashbang.
Yeah.
So in terms of utility into the next round, potentially an AWP as well if they want to bring that out for Gratisfaction, could definitely be an advantage to try and gain into this one. Obviously, get as much as you can possibly get because the chance of winning the round is basically none. But 25 seconds left as they do make their way through a main. Just Gratisfaction here.
Oh, he's jumping up on the vent. He's on the ladder. That's a risky position when someone's staring you down with an AK. The bomb now on A site. 16 seconds all the time in the world to plant that bomb. And they have control of the A site. Very difficult to retake this, especially with Tux up in that heaven position. They don't have the range to deal with it. They could just save the SMG. They could save the pistols, maybe, but we'll have to wait and see what they are going to end up doing. I think they might just be looking for exits, but Dexter does get shut down.
Ooh, from behind.
Yeah, getting a little
drop on him, yeah. Urcast going to be getting a frag at least. That's an AK as well, potentially, that he can save towards lobby. You can see Dexter, the 16-year-old superstar from Chiefs, guarding that one. Doesn't want to be allowing that one to go in the hands of the CT side. But actually, maybe a distraction here from Gratisfaction could allow for it.
No way. He's managed to get it through the door. Gratisfaction picks himself up an AK, nearly able to keep his hands on it, but just in time. Flix is there. He's going to take it out, and that is going to be a little bit of economic damage done to Greyhounds. They're not going to go for the full buy this round. They don't quite have it in the back pocket. And they are going to go for the pistols once more.
So, round number 5 here. 2-2. Another eco going to be coming out for Greyhound. They lose the first buy round. They go for the call to go for the double save, which tells me this is a team that wants to have the Molotovs to deny the rushes towards upper. They want to have the AWP on a Gratisfaction. We may even see a double AWP setup come out from the likes of Greyhound if they want to AWP towards ramp, AWP towards outside.
They're playing close to main with Urcast. Just waiting for those steps. Moving around the outside, taking that position. They've spotted a shoulder, able to jump away to safety, down to 73 HP, so only a light tickling, but it's enough to send him packing back to the A site. And in fact, Malta goes down as well. So now they are a man down, weapons down as well. Urcast trying to play up close with that CZ. Actually, Dexter managing to find a frag. APOC going low as well, and they get 2 for 1 over towards Hell. Dick Stacey managed to pick himself up an AK. And now he has a little bit of a chance in this round, outside being taken by Chiefs, so they do still have a commanding position. It's Greyhound really on the back foot as they're getting sort of swarmed and compressed back into that A site.
This is where we need to see Greyhound take a risk. They have to stack somewhere with the manpower that they have. 2 versus 2 no Gratisfaction. He evens out the numbers, but with no Kevlar, just the P250 in hand, eventually he will meet his demise.
Dick Stacey does have that AK. He's playing heaven position. This is probably one of the better positions you want to be playing in a 2v1. He doesn't have any armor available. They're just going to flash. They're just going to drop down to B, playing it safe. Very reserved. Chiefs need all the rounds on the board. It's 2-2. This will put them 3-2 if they manage to take this one home. A lead in the T side on Nuke would be absolutely incredible for them, especially for their morale. Dick Stacey getting caught with his trousers around his ankles there. He is going to be taken straight down. Texter able to claim that one.
3-5. 3 frags found by Greyhound, so in terms of economical damage dealt, Chiefs may feel it later on, and that's really reflected by their buy as well. They've just played versus 2 full ecos, and they've only got $3,000 onto 2 players, which means their money wasn't too affluent going forward. However, round number 6, another buy round going to be coming to the forefront, and look at the utility here from Greyhound. Molotovs across the board, full utility in their arsenal, and this is the byproduct of going for that save, the double save, with the ecos. AWP on a Gratisfaction as well, taking guard towards outside, and we haven't seen too much presence towards outside early on from Chiefs. They've done the smokes, they've shown presence with APOC, they're going to be rotating back round towards ramp now as they try to exploit Dick Stacey.
This is a full ramp rush. That incendiary grenade will be chucked down straight into their path, but they're already around the corner. Dick Stacey has to drop back to that B site. They've pushed, they've managed to take the top of ramps, they have that position. Now, where do they go from here? Are they going to launch around to Hell or just go straight for that B bomb site? No damage gone either way just yet. A little bit onto APOC, actually, but they are going to push to the B site. Gratisfaction doesn't manage to land the AWP shot, managed to miss a second as well, takes a bit of damage, but finally managed to take Tux down, but already they're onto the B bomb site. Dick Stacey around the corner will not last long. These 2 players just bear straight on down, and the Chiefs have a 1-man trade going on. They have got control now of that B bomb site, and quite slow rotations coming out from Greyhounds here. They're not going for that full commit. Dizzy is going to be holding that ramps against 2. Does take a lot of damage and gets flanked on by Dexter. They have a 2v1 on that ramps position. So now 2 versus 4 on the retake. Gratisfaction just managing to get a shot with the AWP, but gets taken down finally by Flix, as he's able to claim a second as well. Takes it even, and APOC's just raining hell from the bottom of B bomb site. Malta now running around the rafters, knows where APOC is, and actually managed to hit the nade. I thought that went on top of the walkway there, but no. APOC managed to take him down, and Chiefs hold in a 2v4. Spectacular show from the 2 remaining Ts.
Yeah, that's worrying for me for Grayhound.
Yeah.
They have the proper rotations in towards the B side. Gratisfaction missing multiple shots as well. Australia is, oh gosh, I think 7 hours ahead from us. 6 hours ahead from us. It is 5 PM currently in Australia, which means they've had ample time to warm up to deathmatch, and sometimes that can be your downfall. When you get, you know, into the swing of things in deathmatch where players are wide swinging around corners, players are running around corners, you get adjusted to that tempo. And with an AWP, especially myself doing this issue as well, you warm up too much in deathmatch, and we saw constant over-flicking from Gratisfaction as players were peeking into him and players weren't wide swinging into his crosshair.
Yeah.
That could have been, you know, a 3 versus 5, sorry, a 2 versus 4 or a 3 versus 4 in their favor if Gratisfaction landed a few more of those AWP shots. But anyway, we won't harp on individual skill as that's only one round. That's gone back in the favor of Chiefs.
Yeah, trade did go down outside. APOC into Dexter. APOC did actually receive the headshot from Dexter, so he is down to 31 HP. Probably their primary target now. But this is, we were saying last round, Chiefs didn't have a real presence towards the outside. Here is where we're seeing it. Flicks just picking up a double kill. These pistols should be dropping relatively quickly for Greyhounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much textbook Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
When you are versus the pistols, you want to have the maximum amount of distance between yourself and those close-range pistols. Therefore, you go towards outside, you go onto a silo, you go towards the outside red container, and you get the maximum range advantage. And you can see it here reflected with the 4 versus 1. Only one frag able to be found by that CZ. Was a nice shot, though, towards A main. Ooh, even a second as well going to be found as Gratisfaction is playing 3D chess around the lobby position of A site. And eventually we'll conclude with the 5th round now for Chiefs. On their T side, already on 5 rounds.
Yeah, they're going to have...
Get to, you know, 6 or 7 rounds here. They're going to be very happy with how their T half has concluded and with how things are shaping up. This could be an 8-7, a 9-6 potentially in favor of Chiefs, which is monumental when the halves are flipped over.
Is it too late to take back my 2-0 prediction?
I said 2-1, and the reason being is I don't know enough about Grayhound on Nuke. I know enough about Grayhound on Overpass. I know a lot about Grayhound on Cash after casting them at Dallas.
Well, we're seeing how they're doing on Nuke right now, so it's not looking too pretty right about now. But Gratisfaction is going to be still holding strong with the AWP, but isn't going to last long. Dizzy Life on top of the Marshmallow. We'll be chowing down on that one. Pop the incendiary, sorry, the Molotov as they just push straight through. They're zoning Dexter out, but it's not going to be enough to stop him getting the kill onto Dizzy, but they trade it back once more. So now they're 3 versus 3. They have got control of outside, but the bomb is playing passive. They have pushed Flicks in towards that A site.
No presence towards the B site here from Grayhound. They've left this position completely wide open. Malta didn't rotate down ramp once they conceded outside. Instead, he came towards Heaven to hold towards CT. And the issue with this is all the presence now towards the B site in hands of Chiefs. All it takes is one smoke, really, from that player towards the B site, one flashbang, and they will panic rotate towards the B site. So, how do Chiefs play this one? They are slowly migrating their way towards ramp. Malta, if you can get some good timing here, come towards under Heaven, peer in towards ramp. The timing could be in favor of Grayhound to save the round for themselves.
They've pushed into ramp. The bomb is moving down towards that B bomb site, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade again. Back to 2 versus 2. Tux really very low. Only 10 HP left on the board. Dick Stacy needs to turn the corner, but he's just going to get shot straight down by Texter. The bomb gets planted, and Grayhound once more fail on the B site rotations.
You saw there Tux came in towards the site, knew he could plant because Texter had the position towards long, and Texter overfacing potential bomb. Was planted for the double doors, planted for the window, planted for the double doors. He oversteps the mark there and gives away the 2 versus 1 to Urcast. The Mongolian player for Grayhound.
Yeah, that
delivers the goods and grants the 3rd round here for the CT side going forward.
It just feels like they haven't figured out their rotations towards B site. I mean, they're getting the right paths maybe, but they're not peeking at the same time. They're not going for the double facing. They had a 2 versus 2. They had the HP advantage. Obviously, you're versus AKs, so the headshot potential's there. But it just feels a little bit uncoordinated. They're lacking something.
If there is a silver lining, though, for Chiefs after throwing that round, John, it would be the fact that only one player survived from Grayhound, which means the cash is going to be low. 2 UMPs here for the CT side, going to be wielded by Dick Stacy and Malta. In terms of the fuse kits, they have 2. No AWP for Gratisfaction, which greatly diminishes their outside presence from the CT side, and it's being reflected by where Chiefs are right now. Able to go down scot-free towards the secret stairs, but this time Dex is rotated properly.
He's managing to take the face. APOC, though, they're not managed to land pretty much no damage there. He misses all his shots with the M4. Has to fall all the way back to control room behind window. Trying to push through, and Dexter will be in their face. They're just holding now in secret. They're slowed down. Chiefs really need to take the advantage here, but he turns the corner. Finally, Dexter lands his shots, finds two, picks up an AK. APOC around the corner, sprays through the smoke, but manages to get away. He's going to keep going for the aggression, though. He pushes up the stairs. Headshot landed, and Dexter finds himself a cheeky little 3K.
This is Dexter, and the B site is his lab. 3 kills for him. This is the hat trick towards long. And now it's all down to Dexter. Let's see what he can do. Bomb in hand, but from behind.
Yeah.
Zercast to make it 4-5. So Grayhound, they survive the potential of the reset, which is great for their economy going forward. I believe only 1 casualty as well, which means in terms of cash, I don't even think anyone died actually. So in terms of cash, they are going to have money going forward. They avoid having to drop over weapons. Yep. They avoid having to reinvest into utility, into Kevlar. So this is the round that does it for me, John. They have to have 4 or 5 players staying alive. They have to have a clean anti-eco. That way they're going to have $6,000, $7,000 in their arsenal, so they can afford rebuys if they lose the next buy round, which will greatly enhance their CT side.
Where's their B secret player? It worked out incredibly well for last time, and now Chiefs have just swarmed over towards that B site. They have a massive control over the back of the site. They're going to be able to push the smoke out, looking to get the plant as well. If they manage to get that, that's a really, really strong pickup. They'll be able to buy next round, but they do need to get through the defenses, and Dick Stacy goes down. The bomb gets planted. They get a 1-for-1 trade, but it's just not the situation that you want to be in as Greyhounds. Letting that plant go through, a little bit sloppy. They're going to be able to clean up the round. Dizzy life, last man standing.
24 points of health, 1 versus 4. And as expected, nothing going to be managed by him. Goal for Chiefs in that round on the full eco is to get that bomb planted for the additional $800 injected into their bank balance across the board. Yeah. They managed to accomplish that, so they will have extra utility, extra cash, and they had the potential for the AWP as well, John.
Yeah.
However, they don't invest into it. Dizzy Life instead chose to go for the AK full utility buy over the AWP, which signals to me they have a plan in mind. Maybe a fast rush towards ramp, a fast rush towards outside, or a set game plan, because when you don't invest into the AWP, it means they don't want to play for picks, they don't want to play the loose default style. They have a plan in mind.
Well, already they've lost one of their players, pushing up a little bit too far on his own, not able to get the trade back. So now, whatever set plan they have, there's a spanner in the works. They're playing 4 versus 5. The bomb was sat all the way back towards spawn for a long, long time. They're trying to zone out Dexter. Gratisfaction just popping the shots, managing to land one onto Tux. And it's going to be a 3 versus 5, but he's able to trade back a little bit. Flicks and APOC just equalizing those numbers a little bit. They have control of outside, but the bomb is being pushed back towards that T-spawn position. And Greyhound, again, have got that even trade. But in these situations, historically in this game, we've seen that Chiefs just sort of go to B site and then Greyhounds forget how to play.
Well, 50 seconds left on the clock. 3 versus 3. APOC was brought into this roster to be that mid-round caller, to add experience to Tux's calling style. And this is where he has to show his worth to his team. 2 versus 1. APOC, the man, the aforementioned player, does get the kill that could define the round. Now it's all down to Gratisfaction into the 1 versus 2. Open hand, Notorious is the strongest weapon into the latter stages of the round.
Well, he got 2 kills with the scout before. See if he can do 2 with the AWP. He's going to be rotating down to B. Pretty shrewd from him. 16 seconds left on the clock. They have to hard commit. The smoke's there. They know the door's been opened and the plant will go through.
Unfortunate.
They have a very strong plant position as well. Playing all over the site. Hasn't managed to pick himself up a rifle. They know where he is. Again, he's opening the doors. He's just going for those aim jewels, trying to spot out anyone he can see, but he doesn't have a lot of time to play with. Has got the kit available. Looking for APOC. Flicks at the back of sight. He's playing very, very cautious. Spots him out, but Flicks gets the better end of the bargain. And Chiefs find another round. They go to B site for Greyhounds. They go unable to close it down.
Yeah, should have been the save there, realistically, from Gratisfaction.
Yeah, that's... the economic, I mean, they could have rebought into this round. I think I saw an AWP getting bought up.
Buy, but I think it's going to be a weakened. Oh no, actually, I take that back. Apologies. Gratisfaction can't afford the AWP, going for the glass cannon style of AWP. Yeah,
it was dropped over by Malta actually.
Yeah, which means obviously no Kevlar for him. It will hamper his style potentially if he wants to be aggressive or push with the AWP and try and find an opening pick for his team, as he doesn't have the backup of Kevlar.
outside presence for Chiefs now, so they are pushing on. They're trying to get maybe play a little bit more default. Gratisfaction will be there, ready and waiting, but they have the opening into a site already from Flix. They could wrap around through main. They could try and push close. Gratisfaction gets taken down as well. They've lost 2 players outside an A site, are very vulnerable right now. They have got 1 player still playing main in Urkast, and they're looking to try and make him pay out. Dick Stacy will be finding the headshot onto Texter. They have even the scoreline now. Outside presence still there for Chiefs. They have pushed a player onto A site as well, so a little bit of a split focus means that they are going to lose a player again. And that smoke will give Urkast a little bit of safety. He might need to get away.
Man advantage now for Grayhound as the round develops.
Ooh. A little nade through the smoke as Apoc goes down to Urkast. And now just the bomb carrier left alive. Dizzy has that AWP. Might be thinking about saving. I mean, looking at the economy for Chiefs, pretty shaky right now. So they might just want to hold on to that one for the next round if you want to come back in.
This is the issue. Sometimes when you play passive, you give up too much room. Oof. And giving up too much room allows for a window of opportunity. And there it is, Dizzy manages to manipulate Urkast's rotation up and down the ladder, gets himself into the 1 versus 2. Bomb now planted, peeks and peers in, spots Dexter towards round, goes for the face. Oh, but Molotov Flames will be dealing us justice. Going to be the 2 players surviving for Grayhound. Bomb will, of course, be defused. AWP as well going to be salvaged by Dick Stacy so they can carry that forward into the next round. In terms of cash, Dick Stacy can drop over to Gratisfaction, Dexter can drop over to Malta, and Urkast can buy for himself as well. So, all is looking fairly well here for Grayhounds. They bring it back from a 5-2 3-round deficit. They make it 6-6. And now we see the gold rush, essentially, for the remaining rounds here into this first half.
Yeah.
For both teams, if Grayhound lose to a 9-6 half and they lose the pistol and it's 12-6 on their T side down, you know, that could be them mentally tapping out of this map going into overpass. Conversely for Chiefs, if this loses, you know, 9-6 in favor of Grayhound, they're going to be gutted because they had such a strong advantage early on. I
mean, 9-6 is still a relatively decent half on T side, right? On Nuke. It's perfectly acceptable as a scoreline. We'll see how they do on CT. But again, this eco fast push towards B secret is what they did before. It worked out for them last time. They managed to get the plant. And it seems like they're going to be able to be allowed to repeat that performance again. They have moved through. It's all on Grayhound really to go for those rotations and see if they can respond in time this time. Satisfaction landing the shot. They have already got a player down towards that B bomb site, so it won't be super easy. Dexter will be playing. He's hearing that one out. He's playing up in the rafters, relatively isolated. So a nice position here for Greyhounds to counter this B push. They have rotated properly. It's all fine. They've rotated properly. They've got the bomb carrier down. Apoc falls. Dexter not done yet. We'll find a second. They're trading through. Malta has all the bead he needs onto Dexter. They are just going to close it down. No one goes down for Greyhound, so they manage to keep all of those weapons alive and kicking as the Chiefs take a deficit now. It's 7-6.
Yeah, so you have been speaking of rotations on CT side Nuke, and Greyhound, they've been decent, obviously. They have had Dick Stacy. They have had Dexter rotated towards the B site. You know, we saw rounds where Dexter was able to go down secret, unscathed, unspotted, and have a flank in from behind and basically win the round for Chiefs on his lonesome.
Yeah.
But there have been rounds where Greyhound have rotated properly, but just lost Angels, essentially, give up the site in that way.
Oh, look at this aggression from Greyhounds. They're pushing up close outside. We haven't seen this yet. Gratisfaction will just capitalize. A jump from Apoc is going to be his death sentence. They are continuing to push around. Tux will be spotted out, but Gratisfaction, he's just peeking left and right. They don't know where he's going to be coming from, but wherever he does peek, it's death being dealt. They are finally able to shut him down. They do get the flank on. Dexter shuts down Tux. There's two players there. There's more than one. That's all you need. They do burn Dexter alive, though, so a trade goes through. Flix and Dizzy. Well, just Flix now left alive for Chiefs. He's playing outside, does have the bomb. Last time we saw this situation, Chiefs managed to get a bomb plant on that B bomb site. A little bit more cash in the back pocket, and with the fact that they've just full bought, they kind of need it.
Flix, notorious for his clutching capabilities within the Australian Counter-Strike region. And here we're about to witness why. 1 versus 3. 40 seconds left on the clock is the bomb in his domain. Has to try and isolate the players one by one. And so far he's begun his road to success. Dick Stacy found, as now he needs to somehow slip his way in towards the B-bomb site. Malta, I believe, is down towards B. Obviously,
yeah.
Nuke minimap, notorious for not being the easiest to understand.
No.
But it's Urcast towards A main, and Malta locked and loaded towards the B side. Oh my goodness, Flix has found a great position towards Heaven. If he can run up the ladder, try and catch Urcast off guard towards A main, this could be one to remember.
Well, he's only got a couple of seconds to get down there, get the plant. He's going to be spotted out from main, gets the plant. I think he's managed to get it in time. He has the defense as well. Urcast in a real big spot of bother here, up the ladder, and there he goes. He wins the trade with a couple of missed shots from Flix, but that was a nice little plant. If he'd have won that trade, getting up the ladder would have been really hard for the Greyhounds, and then that would have been a round on our hands, but unfortunately, he does go down, and that is going to mean that the defuse goes through.
Orb going to be retrieved by Malta, going to be swapped over to Grellis Faction next round. Very, very strong outside presence shown from Grayhound. I was about to say, we need to see an adjustment from Grayhound. Either have Grellis Faction go towards Secret Stairs at the start of the round and Orb towards Secret.
Yeah.
Or have an outside push to force Chiefs back, because so far, outside's been their domain, it's been their playground, and we haven't seen Grayhound try and adjust to the outside smokes as of yet. They did a great adjustment. They didn't throw any grenades as well. There wasn't a smoke like we see here from Dexter into that last round, which meant Chiefs had no idea that Greyhound were pushing towards the red container. Dexter was pushing as well alongside him, and that caught Chiefs off guard because there wasn't any preliminary smokes. There wasn't Molotov smokes to basically signal that there was a push coming towards outside, which meant that they caught them with their trousers around their ankles. And now into round number 15, the final round of the half. It's going to be a poor buy from the boys on the T side. And already a strong start here for Greyhound. Dexter the first.
The top of a balaclava just being spotted out. He is going to be able to take the head off his shoulders. Urcast capitalizing on a second as well. The bomb is dropped outside, so they have pushed through to Secret, but it doesn't matter too much. CTs have a really good bead on this one. Dick Stacey able to take down Dizzy Life on the flank, and now it's just 2v5 in a really, really difficult situation. Texter isn't going to let that get to him, though. Managed to find one kill so far. Bomb still dropped. No utility, just 2 flashes from Texter. He's pushing forwards. He has to be aggressive onto the bomb. But Urcast has been given the time he needs to rotate through. Manages to get one, but doesn't find the second. Texter now pushing down towards that B-bomb site. Final round of the half. Is he going to be able to make it work? Has to go for the push. Has to be aggressive. Needs to find the win on this round. Spots a player around with the shoulder. Goes up towards the A-bomb site. Might be looking for the plant. Gratisfaction playing Heaven. Will peek out. Has the AWP available, but doesn't land the shot. He's around the corner. Managing to get the plant now, 19 HP. Wouldn't matter against an AWP, though. He's going back towards that control room, towards that T side. He's playing a little bit safe. Gratisfaction drops down onto the site, waiting for the rotation coming through from Malta. Texter plays towards Squeaky and gets shut down. There we go. 9-6 is the half for Greyhounds on that CT side nuke.
Well, well, well. The 5-2 scoreline does conclude 9-6 in favor of Greyhound, who, well, managed to go 7-1 essentially from that 5-2 deficit after they went for the double save, brought out the AWP, brought out full utility as well. And with that, they see themselves with a commanding lead going into their T half. And this pistol round is going to be pivotal for both teams. Chiefs, if they can win the pistol, as Greyhound won the first one, make it 1-1 in terms of pistol rounds, get to a 9-9 scoreline. As this map is favored towards the CT side, and it is Chiefs' map pick, we're going to be favoring Chiefs to close this one out with the victory. However, Greyhound, if they go 2 for 0 in terms of pistols, well, notoriously we know if you win both pistols in a single map, you get that 6-round buffer, that 6-round advantage, which is huge in these maps, because it's almost as if you get 50 or 20% additional rounds to get ever close to getting to 16.
In effect, just in general, pistol rounds are probably the most valuable rounds going. They are,
because it sets your money up for the rest of the half.
Exactly.
And it gets you the buffer rounds so you can win versus the pistols. So if it does go that way for Greyhound, you're looking at 12-6. Money's in their hands. If they win the first buy round, Chiefs are broken. Even if Chiefs win the first buy round, there's a chance they get reset. Basically, it's all in the hands of Greyhound, or the paws, you could say. But anyway, here we go. Underway with a pistol. Round number 16 is going to be the Smoke, Flashbang, P250 investment for Dexter, the IGL, and Captain for Greyhound, as right now is going to try and lead by example.
Gratisfaction opening up Squeaky, pushing towards main, just pops off a pre-fire. Tux playing close up on site. The Rafters player gets taken down, but Tux finds 2. They are traded back now, so an even trade so far. They do have position all over the map as well, and the CTs are going down relatively quickly here. Dizzy Life playing up towards Heaven will just get taken down by Dick Stacy. And Flix just can't land the shots there. Terrorists win the first round. The pistol goes through. They manage to get the plant as well, just at the end there. So a nice little setup for the rest of the half.
Wow, doesn't bode too well here for Chiefs. Dizzy Life right now, 4 frags and 15 deaths. And yes, Malta as well as 4 frags. But the difference is Malta is a supportive player for Grayhound. Dizzy Life is the AWPer for Chiefs. That is a massive discrepancy in terms of roles. You want your AWPer to be fragging. It's the most expensive weapon to have, which means it's a costly investment and it's gaining nothing back from it. Plus, CT side Nuke towards outside, Dizzy Life has to step up because if Grayhound get outside for free on the buy rounds, this is as good as done.
That's all on Flix, and he's just going to crumble straight away as the push comes through. Dexter able to find the kill right at the front, leading by example, pushing out. They have got 2 players towards control side. Flashbangs will go in. Going to be looking to try and find the frags, and it will go their way. APOC able to trade it back with the CZ. Dexter gets taken down. And the rotate is through towards ramps. So 3 versus 2 on the retake. A nice couple of pistol kills coming out actually from the Chiefs, but it looks like they're going to be shut down here as APOC does have the armor, does have the helmet. Against 2 UMPs, might have a chance here, but it's looking pretty risky as actually Malta picks up one of those AKs that got dropped by one of his comrades.
APOC then going to be positioning himself to try and find some exit frags as Grayhound scurry away from the site. But unfortunately for him, luck doesn't go in his favor as Grayhound are exiting towards ramp. So going to be able to survive with Kevlar and a CZ at least, so he can have that going forward into the next round, round number 18. Well, 11-6.
There we go.
Forced by loss for Chiefs, which means we are expecting an eco here into round number 18. Therefore, anticipating Grayhound to get to 12-6 advantage. You know, they're doubling the scoreline versus Chiefs. They have a massive monetary advantage as well. Even if Chiefs win a few early rounds, if those rounds are close, then the chance of a reset is always looming over their heads. Grayhound have the advantage, but let's see what Chiefs can do.
Yeah, Greyhound's Urcast actually buying up the MAC-10 against an eco. It absolutely makes sense. If you gun down 2-3 players, you make so much money just from those SMG kills. So if he's able to shut down or find a glut of Chiefs, he could do quite well on that.
Additionally as well, the MAC-10, you can use the MAC-10 to probe for information. Obviously, if you throw the MAC-10 in first, if you lose a MAC-10, who really cares at that point? Yeah. So you can work out if Chiefs are stacking towards ramp, if they're boosting towards ramp, if they're stacking towards A or B. You can use the MAC-10 as a probing device, essentially.
Well, they're going to be probing in towards Hell and actually up to Heaven. They have managed to take 1 kill already onto Tux. They rotate, the CT's rotated down towards B site, but they've been out-rotated yet again, and APOC will find 1, but Dexter is able to shut it down with that UMP. So finally that MAC-10 goes down, but they get the plant and actually manage to find another kill onto Malta. So they're evening it up again. Those pistol shots managed to land through. Dexter on 2 HP. And some nice shots up the ladder. He's looking to push up, but just gets shot straight down. Dexter actually falls to his death. So yeah, they do lose yet another gun. And Greyhounds do win the round, but that's not the sort of game you want to be playing there, Dexter. It's not the performance you want to be seeing. He is going to drop over that AK to Malta. I think we are going to see... I think we're going to see... it's going to be... Yeah, Dexter just dropped the rifle over towards Malta. They are going to be buying up for the rest of the players. Gratisfaction has his hands on the AWP. So does Dizzy, though. We'll see if he's able to play outside in the same sort of vein that we saw previously coming through from Gratisfaction.
Oh, spam through the smoke, connecting the shots onto Dexter. Putting him down to 4 points of health. APOC in towards the vent. Even though Dexter's on 4 HP, he still manages to win the duel versus APOC.
Keep him away from those long drops, friends. He is prone to jumping himself off those. Not the kind of situation you want to be in, but he does get the kill, does get the trade towards that vent's position. They're pushing around. They've full rotated towards Secret. Dizzy Life seems to not really realize that they're all down there already. Dexter just holding that front for them as well, making sure that they have that room to operate. Vent's being guarded by Gratisfaction. They're just making sure no one can drop down there. You see Tux is just waiting for his chance, but it's not going to come. Gratisfaction will take down Dexter on the trade, find himself a second towards those rafters in B, and look back towards Secret where there is a player pushing. He will be pushing no more. Gratisfaction holding strong with that AWP.
I mean, APOC going down towards vents. Almost like a chain reaction as Domino's just falling one by one. They lose the first player towards Vent. That basically opens up the B bomb site for Grayhound. They flood in towards B. Besides theirs, they have impeccable after plant positions as well, which means Chiefs forced to save, 2 players surviving. They're now onto a 4-round maximum, nearly maximum, apologies, $2,900 round loss bonus. So it's so unfortunate because if Tux and Dizzy Life had $200, if they found frags themselves, they could drop over 2 M4s to, you know, Texter and Flicks. APOC could buy UMP, and they can actually buy up into this round.
Yeah.
Instead, they don't have enough to drop over. You can see $2,000.
They could roll a couple of FAMASs or something like that.
It's just not worth it, is it, really? They have to concede the 14th to Grayhound into round number 21.
Oh, well, there they go. There's the FAMASs.
Oh, wow. Okay, they are going to be taking that risk. What that signals for me is it might all be over. Okay. Obviously, desperation is starting to come to the forefront here for Chiefs. They're not going to play the slow game where they go for recos, where they try and get the best possible buy. They now understand they need rounds on the board ASAP. Yeah,
it's the 13-6 scoreline. As soon as you pass 11 and you start to worry, you hit 12 and you're like, and then you hit 13 and you're like, right, we've just got to go for it. We've got to find out anything we can do. Already Flick's getting backed off of that ramps position, trying to trade into the AK. It's not going to go well for him. As he gets pushed back, they go down. They've already lost 1. Not a lot of damage done either. Tux, though, on a long flank, will be facing off against Urkast, and actually it's going to go well. Managed to find the frag. They're trading it back, though, and already they have the man advantage. Greyhounds, again, just finding themselves on that B site in a good spot. They have the bomb. It's going to get planted. Dizzy Life finding a leg over the door frame there. Will actually get the kill onto Dick Stacey as well. Texter popping off a little bit as he's finding 3 kills. Dizzy Life as well, cleaning it up, and all of a sudden Chiefs have a massive comeback. They're going to be able to defuse this round, and the FAMASs pay off.
Ha! Well, there you have it. 7-13. I thought as soon as Flicks goes down towards ramp, the round, again, you know, exact same as last time. Your B rotate player, or in this case, the B anchor player dies. Yeah. B bomb site's completely left open and barren. Greyhound get the site. After plant's impeccable, rounds over. Instead, Dizzy, or sorry, I should say Texter, really.
Yeah.
With textbook plays, comes in, finds 2 to 3 frags, basically turns the tires of that round.
Yeah, I think he got 3 really quick frags.
Yeah, in quick succession, yeah. Have to mention, though, the role as that anchor player towards ramp is to buy time for your teammates. Well, it seems like the role of the color caster isn't always the most favorable. You got 10 seconds to talk about your point, and then suddenly it's all over. Already into the action into this round here. Only 10 seconds in.
Well, I mean, the action has started, but I think it's sort of taken a little bit of a quick shot over towards APOC, and that's just going to stun their aggression. Make sure that they're falling back and actually trade it back onto Malta. A lovely little shot from Secret for Dizzy. Make sure that they go down, and Texter's just round the corner. He is absolutely stepping up to the plate right now. Trading off against the AWP. Dexter managed to land the spray, but there goes Dizzy pushing up aggressively. Backing up his teammate beautifully. Spots one around the corner, and Dizzy and Texter. What a duo these guys are turning out to be.
Already doubling his kills from the first half in almost 2 buy rounds. So it goes to show that he is starting to have his impact here into the second half, where his team needs him towards outside. So far, I wouldn't be worried if you're Greyhound. Think about the strats they've ran so far. Burst towards the A site, a burst through the ramp smoke as well. They haven't shown any strategy, any tactics yet, so they still have so much strategy to fall back on in terms of executions, in terms of set default plays. So I won't be getting too worried right now if you are Dexter and you are calling for Greyhound. But if the next buy round goes in favor of Chiefs, then red flags may be raised.
Dizzy Life will be facing off against the full eco rush, looking for those AWP shots. Malta just tucks in just at the right time, 21 HP. Finds himself a little bit more lucky than maybe he hoped he would be. They're pushing around, they're trying to push through, they don't have any utility, and they're going to pay the price for it. 2 players go down pretty early on. They're trying to trade it back, but the pistol just round the corner for Dizzy means that they are just cleaning up. The mop soon to hit Dick Stacey, I'm sure. And there we go, Greyhounds. Only a Glock left. He's going to go down. Lands the shot onto Texter, actually, so he's managed to find 1 kill already. Dizzy Life as well, quite low. Managed to find that headshot with that Glock. Could go quite well for him, but that bomb is dropped.
Even though typically eco frags are fairly innocuous, you know, pointless essentially, it actually means quite a lot that we're seeing multi-kills from Dizzy. It bodes into his confidence going into the buy rounds. He's finding kills, and that is so important for the AWP of outside on Nuke to get confidence to go for the peek in towards Hut, to push towards ramp and get the first frag, to stay confident towards outside and challenge the players towards Silo, to challenge the players towards red container, and especially the AWP satisfaction from Grayhound. So even though, you know, those are pointless kills, you could say, on the surface, they could be read into a bit more between the lines. But anyway.
Kill isn't just a kill, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
There's more to it.
Into the substance, though, of Counter-Strike, John. The buy rounds, 13-9. Still the 4-round advantage for Grayhound as we head into the 23rd.
Well, there's that AK full buy that you said indicated a strategy.
That's true. Let's see what it could be, though. The question is, they didn't actually have enough money for the AWP, which means that it doesn't really bode too much into that, but it still means they're going to do something hot and fast as they up the tempo and they rush towards the A side.
He shoots his teammate in the back of the head, and Tux just finds two. But Dexter, he might have shot his teammate, but he's shooting the enemies as well. Flix and Dizzy Life now, last two left standing. Dexter having gone down, their star from the previous players on the clutches. Dizzy Life really needs to step up on that AWP. Looking for those kills, but Urquest on the outside will get taken straight down by Flix from Heaven. Dexter now, he's found 3 kills, needs to go for the full ace to win the round. Dizzy seems to have got the measure of him, but they're pushing into each other's corners. He's looking close and he's looking up. It's going to be the end of the round for Greyhounds as Chiefs take it yet again. They're into double digits now. They are in a threatening position to Greyhounds. As you say, we're into the buy rounds, and it doesn't look like Greyhounds are going to be able to go for the full buy here. They have to fall back, so I'm looking at a very close scoreline now.
This is getting quite awkward here.
Yeah.
If you're Greyhound, you have to save for the AWP now for Satisfaction. You've tried these burst 4-1 style of CS where you throw outside smokes, you have one player flash and lurk towards outside to show presence, and you have 4 players burst towards another position on the map. You know, that's getting quite redundant now. Let's go for a default, get an AWP on a Satisfaction, see if you can work a pick, you know, boost him on the red container, boost him on the blue container, have him challenge Dizzy Life towards outside, have him challenge the players towards A main and Heaven. But going to be the quasi-buy come out for Greyhounds. You know, no head armor, which means they fall like dominoes, 1 by 1 to Tux's M4. And we go into round number 25 with a 13-11 scoreline, just down to Dick Stacey now with the Deagle.
I'm not expecting great things coming out. We've seen him land a couple of good shots, but he's playing off against Dizzy Life on the outside with that AWP. Of course, has that one-shot potential. Dexter goes for the peak, manages to land the shots. That's all he needs to do. 11 rounds now on the board for Chiefs as they take it back. So now we go into another buy round for the Greyhounds.
And this is the one that really sets a precedent going forward. Are they going to be able to basically kill this hot streak from Chiefs, or extinguish it would be a better terminology, let's put it like that. Always improving. Every day is a school day. But all for Gratisfaction, so we can see the default now. Let's take a look at what they do. Gratisfaction going to be mounting the silo, peering into Dizzy Life. We've seen Dizzy Life go for the peek behind the garage position to peek in towards silo. Could be expecting that peek. But 1:30 left in the round here. Dexter holding for the ramp and lobby push from Chiefs. And 4 players situated towards outside as the round does unfold. Now in a default fashion for Greyhound.
A lot of utility being thrown down early, so I'm expecting a couple of late fast aim duels. Seems like Dexter will open us up finally on towards APOC in main. They're pushing it. They're playing a little bit slow. They're playing passive. They've wrapped all the way. Slowly does it around towards Hell. You can see Gratisfaction just watching for Flix. They do know he's there. The nade did hit him earlier on. Oh, I think he's just caught the glimpse of the top of a helmet there. He's seen it again. He's landed the shot, but it's through a wall. Unfortunately, only down to 16 HP, but Flix already just once bitten, twice shy. Falls back down towards that secret position. 40 seconds left on the clock. So not the longest time in the world. Tux is through the wall. Just waiting, biding his time. Dexter has already found one on the trade, but Dick Stacey through the heaven has managed to find one himself. Urquest just looking to hold on that A bomb site, sorry, as the main control room gets held as well. And Flix now 15 HP. He got shot down earlier. 3 players to contend with as well. Really going to find it difficult to come back in. And this is the round that Greyhound wanted to see on the buy.
Such an awkward round there from Chiefs. They go for a double push towards ramp.
Did you die to the hot guy tower?
No, I died to the Heaven guy.
Can you hear that as well?
Yeah. Was that in game?
Yeah, it is. Always love the Aussie accent. Anyway, back to the point. Pushing 2 players towards ramp. And what does that mean? Obviously, You push 2 players towards ramp, you give up so much presence towards
And now we reset
outside.
them on.
So you lose players to Dexter holding for the push towards ramp as he's holding lobby. Therefore, Flix cannot rotate from ramp and hold under heaven. Because of that, Grayhound, they waltz outside, they stumble towards heaven, they go up heaven, and they have the flank on the remaining 2 anchor players on the A site. And that's the issue. Yes, it's only a 4 versus 5, but Greyhounds have heaven control. Flix is forced to stay at ramp because he cannot afford to give ramp up because Dexter killed the players pushing. And the round is pretty much all said and done.
Yeah, it's the aggressive push just didn't really pay off towards control. So Greyhound now set to launch themselves towards map point. Gratisfaction with an early peek towards Squeaky, towards main as well. With that AWP, looking for the pick. Won't be able to find something the player did just tuck back in. Shoulders nice and safe behind the vent. But Dizzy Life playing down towards Secret this time with the AWP. Malta will be facing him off. And he is going to meet it Maker. They need to trade it back relatively quickly, otherwise Chiefs can just rotate around them. Flix playing up close, and Gratisfaction takes his shoulder off. APOC waiting and waiting, but he gets only 1. And that's not going to be quite enough to give them the advantage they're looking for. Dizzy Life misses a shot, actually. That's going to be absolutely disastrous, as Urcast will be now aware of what is going on, but he will be able to fall back past those crates. As Tux is actually facing off against the rest of the team across the map. The bomb is dropped. They need to pick it back up. They need to get their running shoes on because they don't have too long left in the round. 50 seconds now. They've given up a lot of info. Dick Stacey managed to find the trade, so now 2 versus 2. Only an incendiary grenade left on Dick Stacey. And Greyhounds look to have the advantage here.
The question is, where is Texter? So he isn't towards heaven, he's here towards ramp. This frag makes or breaks the round here, and it goes 1 for 1. We have ourselves the clutch.
1 versus 1 indeed. The defuse kit available for Tux, breaks the vent, will just try and force out the rotate. You can see he's staying up there. He's actually baited out Urcast completely here. He's going to be running in with a knife. Hell for leather, doesn't manage to land the shot, only on 12 HP. Just a cool breath of wind will take him down, but it's not going to be enough, as it seems like Urcast not quite even able even to summon that, and Chiefs take around 12 to 14 now, as Greyhounds lose out on their match point. Their map point, sorry, not match point.
Paranoia starting to settle in now for Greyhound. As the trepidation is there as well, the feeling of despondency, right?
Yeah.
What can they do now? They've tried their defaults, didn't work. They've tried their set pieces, the execution towards outside, fast play towards upper, fast play towards ramp, bursting through smokes. They've gone through the whole checklist of their playbook, and so far the only thing that's worked is a C set towards outside from Dick Stacey.
Well, it seems like they're going to be able to cross, but finally Dick Stacey gets taken down after he crosses over 3 players' sightlines. Dexter is going to be able to drop down vents as well. They've taken a really strong position for an eco round. Playing close up with those pistols, that's exactly where you want to be. Playing towards those B halls is really, really powerful, but you can see APOC here will just be zoning out Urcast, making sure that he can't go for it. Actually, but the long peek means that he has the advantage, gets the kill, and the plant will go through towards this B bomb site. They have the man advantage, they're trying to push through, and finally the Chiefs answer. Finally, they're down towards that bomb site. Gratisfaction at the back of site will be looking to go for those shots, and Malta out the vent. We'll find one as well. That's CZ looking to do the damage. Managed to find another headshot. Looking to go through the smoke. It's 1 versus 1. Doesn't manage to pick up the M4, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. That incendiary is going to be playing up close. He has the knife out, and he doesn't manage to get it. But that is a huge number of kills on an eco round for Greyhounds. They've taken so much money out of the hands of Chiefs. That's the brilliant situation for them to be in. The best eco round to lose, right? That's the best way you can lose an eco round.
Yeah, bomb planted, so you manage that goal. Additionally, 4 frags found against Chiefs, so their money... I mean, look at this, right? The reason the money is such a big factor here is because if Greyhound win this buy round, it goes 15 to 13, but Chiefs do not have the money to rebuy fully to fight for overtime, which means there's a high chance we see a 16-13 victory for Greyhound because of that. However, Greyhound or Chiefs aren't out of the woods yet, as the shot is missed by Flix. It's going to be the double upset here coming out from the CT side, and I mentioned it earlier for Greyhound to maybe bring it out, but it will be Chiefs that bring it out into the latter portions of this matchup.
Dizzy Life playing back towards the warehouse with that AWP. Will spot out a player, but through the wall yet again. Doesn't manage to find the shot. Gratisfaction gets away with a sliver of health, and they are going to be able to push through to Secret. APOC not landing the shot either. Texter pushing out, and he's not going to do well in that trade. Urcast finds one. Greyhound already have the run of this map so far. They've managed to push all the way down through Secret, but they have that position towards the A site as well. They have the bomb ready and waiting to bait out those rotates from the Chiefs. They're looking to go all the way around. They're looking to maybe go up through Vent, go around towards Heaven, and see what they can do towards that A site, because of course they haven't pulled the trigger on what they want to push for.
Not only do Grayhound have the man advantage, the rotations get quite awkward here for Chiefs. This next kill could be the difference between a 16-13 victory or Chiefs running away with this map. Let's see then. Dizzy line, perfectly placed scope. Finds the first frag as the push comes in towards A.
A lovely, cheeky little headshot over the top of the corner there for Dexter as they trade it back. So no Heaven presence now for the Chiefs. That Molotov will just zone out Tux as well. Has to fall back to the control room. And they are just starting to get shut down. The Greyhound's in a beautiful position here. They've got post-plant. Tux goes down as well. And now it's just APOC left alive. Has that M4. Probably looking to save here. Looking for those exit frags potentially. Trying to find an AWP, but there it is. He gets picked up by Malta instead. He's over towards that B bomb site. He doesn't really have too much hope here. They're going to give over the map point to Greyhounds. This is a really tricky situation because, of course, of the way they lost that previous round, they're not going to have the best money.
Heartbreaking for Chiefs. They fight tooth and nail. At the point they were down in the 13-7 deficit, they went for the audacious force buy with the FAMASs, with the UMPs, and they had a little bit of a run of form, but it may all be futile as the buy is extremely weak. FAMAS for Texter, the star 16-year-old player. And right now we need a repeat of that round earlier at the FAMAS for 3K towards the B side. Because apart from that, there are no more rifles here for Chiefs. It's just CZs, P250s across the board, no defuse kits, 2 flashbangs and 1 smoke is all they have in their inventory in terms of utility, which poises very heavy lenient to Grayhound, winning this one 16-13, as anticipated just by how inefficient Chiefs were in their anti-eco.
Yes. Not the sort of round you want to be seeing, and it's coming back to bite them. Playing it slow, the Greyhounds, they don't want to be pushing because they know the economic situation that the Chiefs are in. They know that they can't go, they don't need to go for that pressure. They can just wait, they can feel it out, they can win the duels, they've got the AWP on Gratisfaction, they can play it safe, which is exactly what they need to be doing. They're pushing through towards ramp, and they will come up against Flicks. Of course, only has that CZ, looking for those long-range pistol peaks, as they are going to push on through. He has fallen back a little bit, trying to play for the anti-aggression, but they're just playing it by the book. They're straight down through the ramps towards that B bomb site, smoking it off. Incendiary grenades flying left and right. They're putting it through, and that utility, without a single kill going through, the B bomb site is completely taken over. They're trying to fight it out on the site. As APOC goes down, they actually trade it back onto Dick Stacy, but they still have really strong post-plant positions for Greyhound. The smoke goes down onto the bomb, but Gratisfaction will take it down. Once more, it's traded, though. So they still have a chance here. Tuck's actually looking to peek on in. Urcast taken really very low, 20 HP, taken down finally by Texter with that FAMAS. It's a 2v2. The bomb gets tapped. And it's going to be Gratisfaction taking the trade. Texter peeking out with the FAMAS. This is where he showed up before. Will be able to show up again. 1 player left alive. Texter has not got a defuse kit. The bomb is going to go through. Greyhounds are going to be able to close it down. Malta with the final kill. 16-13 is the scoreline. And Greyhounds take down Chiefs on Nuke.
Yeah, 16-13, you know, once it got to that, 10-13 mark, only 3 rounds separating these two teams, we thought for a second maybe the Cinderella story is going to come full circle. Maybe they can bring the comeback to fruition. But yeah, I mean, obviously Greyhound, 13-10, they make it 14-11. And then from there, the anti-eco really says it all, to be honest.
Yeah.
Making the money completely debilitating anti-eco, essentially. They lose all their cash going into the final round. Match point, game over essentially, just from reading the 2 buys. 1 FAMAS for Texter, 3 CZs, 1 P250 as well. Game's pretty much as good as done. No defuse kits as well. So
yeah.
At that point, it was all said and done. So for Greyhound, obviously, we said, coming into this matchup, before we started, if it is a Nuke victory for Greyhound, we are anticipating a swift 2-0, as Overpass is extremely favoured for Greyhound. Chiefs, if they want a chance in this one, had to be win their map pick on Nuke, concede Overpass, and have that upset victory on Cash. But unfortunately, not all was in their favour.
Well, they're not out of it just yet. Of course, they do have a chance in Overpass, of course, however stacked it may be. And even if they do lose out here, they do have another chance in the lower bracket consolidation final, which will be played tomorrow.
And see how that, Tainted Minds versus Legacy, I believe. Obviously, we're favouring Tainted Minds, I imagine.
Well, yeah, I think just a little bit. Just a little bit. I mean, the numbers do say that they are a little bit in favour. Of course, if Cash gets banned out, then Legacy, that's the strongest map. If they find Mirage as well for Tainted Minds. But yeah, I think we are just going to be going to a break whilst we get set up for the next map, which of course will be Overpass between Greyhounds and Chiefs. So make sure you don't go anywhere because IEM qualifiers are not done just yet.
Incendiary out.